Needless Things Podcast. Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest episode of the Needless Things Podcast, where we talk about toys, movies, music, and all manner of pop culture dorkery. I'm your host, Dave, and woo, I'm 44 years young, and I've always thought that was really corny to put it that way, that 44 years young. What is that goofy shit? But I gotta tell you right now, I feel great, and the reason I feel great, and this is not an ad, like, I have no affiliation whatsoever with DDP Yoga, but I've been on this program. I just went into my 11th week, today, the day I'm recording this, as a matter of fact, which is yesterday to all you people in the future. I just went into the 11th week, and I just feel unbelievable. I've never felt this good in my life. And people talk about exercise and what it does for you and how it makes you feel. And, you know, intellectually, I think we know, yes, moving around and doing things and some form of working out is good. But until you're doing it, you just don't get it. You don't at all. My joints they're not stiff. I get up in the morning and I feel good and I want to do things, and I look forward to doing these workouts. And I'm not going to go on and on. I'll just say you can try DDP Yoga free for a week, I think. They usually have something going on where you can try it out first, and I recommend it. It has made me feel like a different human being. And for the past, basically since I turned 40, every year I feel like there's a new little collection of annoyances about being older. And this year, I just feel great. I feel wonderful. So anyway, that's my, and especially with everything that we're going through right now, being stuck at home, being in weird situations, like you get the app and you can just do this anywhere. And it's perfect for what we're going through right now, to keep yourself positive and motivated. It puts you on a schedule. It's exactly what I need, because if I don't have somebody telling me every single day, hey, you need to do this, then I'm not going to do it. So anyway, like I said, I don't want to go on, but it's fantastic. Give it a chance. Check it out. See what it can do for you. And you get out of it what you put into it. So, all right, now we can move on to nerdy stuff. I feel so good, and I want everybody to feel this good. It's amazing. All right, let's get on to some news. Okay, I think the biggest news for the week is that there's actually news. I have a few things to report from the world of pop culture dorkery, and that in and of itself is exciting, because for the past few weeks it's been a struggle to find anything to talk about. First of all, I want to note that the pre-order for the Transformers Masterpiece MP51 RC figure is up. The figure looks absolutely incredible. I have, as I mentioned a couple months ago, probably maybe longer, I'm not buying Transformers. I got caught up in War for Cybertron Siege, and then I said, what am I doing? I can't do this, and I got rid of all of that. But I do still have some Masterpiece figures, and you know, particularly characters from Transformers the movie are appealing to me, and there's never been an RC figure that looked really, really good. And part of the reason for that is she's a hot lady robot that transforms into a car. So there's always a bunch of kibble sort of sticking out of her back. This time around, she still has it, but it's sort of a backpack-looking thing. It's not as streamlined as what we see in the movie, because that would be physically impossible. But the figure looks absolutely amazing. I'm very, very tempted by this one. I'd love to put it up on the shelf beside Hot Rod. I did not buy the Ultra Magnus, but it's just a great-looking figure. So do yourself a favor, Google Transformers Masterpiece RC, and just take a look at this figure. It looks amazing. The transformation looks good, and in car and robot mode, it's just a really badass-looking robot. I dig it. So that one has been in the works for quite some time, and now up for pre-order, should be out before the end of the year. Obviously, depending on conditions of everything else that's going on right now. The biggest news of the week for me, something that I had no idea was even in the works, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 is up for pre-order now. This game was transformative for me. The original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater came out, I think, in '99, and the first two games were just played constantly by me, by my roommates at the time, by whatever was going on. They're incredible games, and I can't remember exactly where the series fell off. I think 3 was still good. I think 4 might be the one where it just lost me. But whatever the case, those first two games are legendary video games, and they have been fully remastered. And let's see here. I'm actually going to read a little bit of copy because I want to do these releases justice. They have all the original skaters from the games. This is most of the original songs, which is a little disappointing. But here's the thing: off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. Like, I would have to look up what the songs were, and as I'm playing the game, if a song pops up that wasn't on the original, I'd probably be like, wait, what is this? But it looks like the list of what they managed to retain is pretty impressive. The Dead Kennedys are still on there, Goldfinger's still on there, Millencolin. Let's see. Oh, they don't have the full list on here, unfortunately, but I saw it in the trailer. You can go look the trailer up on YouTube. But the cool thing is, this is totally updated in 4K graphics. They've added in tricks. They've updated the control. Like, it should feel like a completely modern game. And they have also added in, which was not, I know it wasn't in the first game. I'm not sure if it was in the second game or not. Create a Park and Create a Skater are going to be in this. So this is going to feel like a fully modern game, but hopefully retain the intuitiveness and simplicity of the originals, because that was where the series kind of got away from me, as later on it just felt like it got too complicated and it wasn't fun to play anymore, which is common. I mean, that's how wrestling games got too. They got so far away from, or so far into wanting to be simulations, that they weren't fun anymore, because that's the whole reason schlubs like me play wrestling and skateboarding games, is because I can't actually wrestle or skateboard. I just want to have fun, and when it gets too realistic, it's like, well, this is not fun anymore. But anyway, it looks incredible. Like I said, go watch the trailer on YouTube. It looks amazing. I pre-ordered it already. Now, here's the deal. There are lots of different pre-order bundles. Apparently, the collector's editions that include a birdhouse skateboard deck and some other goodies, those are already sold out, which is okay because I don't need a birdhouse skateboard deck. The digital deluxe edition is currently available for pre-order on Xbox and coming soon for PlayStation 4. I don't know why the delay, but I went ahead and ordered pre-ordered a physical copy from Best Buy, which, look, at big box stores, blah, 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 whatever. Get out of here with that shit. Best Buy has been doing me right for the most part lately. Like with movies, I get them before they even come out. Every pre-order I've gotten, it's packaged very well. I just got I had a whole fiasco that I'm not going to get into with the Purple Rain on vinyl. And Best Buy said, oh, wait, I went nuts about it last week because Amazon sent it in a freaking plastic bag. Well, I ordered it from Best Buy, and it came in a specially designed box just for shipping vinyl. Like, think about the difference there. Like, the best experience I've had buying vinyl from Amazon is when I bought from Turntable Records through Amazon, and there was a vinyl box inside of an Amazon shipping carton. But my best expectation is just a box with the vinyl in it, and they sent a bag. Best Buy sends a specialized carton for vinyl. It was incredible. But anyway, so I pre-ordered from Best Buy a physical copy, but once it goes up on PS4 for the digital deluxe edition, I'll just order it there, because that's got a ton of extra stuff on it, and you get early access to the warehouse demo, which, if you remember, the warehouse demo was the one that was up in kiosks in GameStop when this first came out, or maybe Electronics Boutique. I'm trying to remember if GameStop was even a thing at that time, because I didn't work for GameStop until 2002. So whatever the case, that warehouse demo. We were playing that thing in the kiosks in the video game stores all the time, and I think there was even a disc of it you could get and bring home. Now that I'm thinking about it, that used to be a thing too, and we just played the shit out of just the warehouse. So that's like a really cool extra to get as well. So anyway, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 coming in September 4th. Looks incredible. I'm so stoked about it, as you can probably tell. Another thing that went up this week, and this is, look, I'm getting sick of pre-ordering things. I want some stuff. I want actual things. And don't get me wrong, there have been things here and there for me to grab, and it's great. I really like just things going up for sale, though, as opposed to being pre-orders that come out in 6 to 9 to 12 months. And things went up for sale this week. If you go to super7.com, you can buy the Anthrax reaction figure, which is the walking dude from the cover of Among the Living. Swore off reaction figures, but I also knew very well that if they put out the right kind of figure, that I would have to buy it. And any action figure with Anthrax on the packaging is one that I am going to buy. And on the same day, they released the Motorhead War Pig, a bloody variant of that. It's cool. It's not really anything I need. I would buy a Lemmy figure if they made one, but I'm not too interested in this War Pig thing that they've made. It's fine. It's cool. Put it on the wall. Be glad you have a Motorhead toy. But the Anthrax one is the big one for me, and I ordered that immediately. And even now, as I'm talking about it, sitting here thinking, should I have bought another one so I could open it up? But at $18 a piece, the answer to that is no. And finally, the last bit of news we have for this week before we get to our show is New Mutants has been given a new release date. I just want to see the movie. The release date is now August 28th. And, you know, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? That's 3 months away. Maybe we'll be going back to theaters at that point. Maybe we won't. I don't know. But I do wish whatever happens, they just stick to this one, so at least we can get a home release before the end of the year, and I can see this frickin' movie. Because this was one of my most anticipated movies of last year. And now it's coming out in the third quarter of this year. I just want to see it. Let me see this movie. So anyway, August 28th. 2020, new release date for New Mutants, which apparently is called The New Mutants, something I don't know that I even realized that it had the on there. But there you go. That is your news. And now you may be wondering, Dave, what's this episode about? What's happening? And you probably already know because it's in the title, but this is the needless commentary, the long-awaited, by me anyway, needless commentary for the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, one of my favorite movies of all time. Depending on the day of the week, I might tell you it's the best comic book adaptation ever filmed. I feel that it is. I can't think of anything that more faithfully adapts the material and more successfully. And we talk about that, obviously, during the commentary, so I'm not going to go on and on now, even though I could, because I adore the shit out of this movie. I love it. So grab your VHS, your DVD, your Blu-ray. Unfortunately, you cannot grab your deluxe Shout Factory-esque boutique copy because nobody's done it, which is insane because this is the 30th anniversary of this film, and I don't get it. I don't know why this hasn't happened because it's still a viable license. It's not like this is some old forgotten franchise. And granted, the current cartoon has done everything it possibly can to make it that way because it's terrible. But, yeah, somebody pick this thing up and give it a deluxe edition. It's crazy that hasn't happened. But one cool thing that I learned in doing my research for this episode, well, research, air quotes, big time, but in poking around on the internet prior to recording this episode, I learned that Judith Hoag, the original April O'Neil, is part of a couple of big projects that are happening. First one, and I mentioned this during the commentary, but I'm going to mention it here as well. May 23rd, there is going to be a pizza party panel with Judith Hoag and the 4 actors who played the Turtles in the movie, in the suits. on YouTube. So look up TMNT Movie 1990, I believe is the thing you want to Google, or Judith Hoag's Twitter, and you can find out more information about that. And they are also producing a documentary about the making of the movie, which is great. It's much needed, because we've never, this has always been treated as a children's movie by the studio, so it never got that really cool release with tons of special features and commentaries and all kinds of other stuff that it so deserves, because what an incredible landmark of puppetry and technology and animatronics and action filmmaking and comic book adaptation. It's everything. It's great. And it deserves this treatment. So this documentary I'm very excited about. So, yeah, look around online. You can find all the information about that. Judith Hoag's Twitter is kind of the best place. And I love that she's taking such an active part in this, because it's always great when somebody involved is genuinely passionate about something that's going on and not just like the talking head that's been chosen to represent it. Like, she seems really into it. So there you go. So sit back, grab your copy, sit down, and have a cold one as we celebrate the month of my birth with a film that we shot in basically my second hometown, Wilmington, North Carolina. So enjoy. I love it. You love it. Watch it once and then watch it with the commentary. Do whatever you got to do to fully appreciate this incredible movie. And I'll get back with you for the outro. All right, Phantomaniacs. It is May. It is still proximal. This is technically my birthday celebration.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. I had to work on my birthday. And for my birthday, I have chosen to watch...
You won the Money in the Bank.
Yeah. I tell you what, as far as I'm concerned, everybody won the Money in the Bank, because that was awesome. So, I've decided for the May commentary to watch one of my favorite movies, and what I think is one of the best, if not the best, comic book movie of all time. 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Heroes on a half shell?
No. This is none of that cutesy mess, although there is a good bit of cutesy stuff in here. But I adore this movie. I loved it when it came out. It came out right on the heels of Batman, right in the midst of me being obsessed with the Ninja Turtles comics and the Ninja Turtles toy line. That's Ryan, you and I talked about it on the first run through that, and we'll talk about the toy line a little bit more. But I love this movie, and I've been kind of waiting for the right time for us to watch it. And that time is now. So, everybody get ready. We're going to hit play in just a second here. I hope I have everything set up right. That rarely seems to happen. Battle Cougar, please don't choke to death live.
Yeah.
I am slowly dying in the corner, and I don't know.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hit play. And enjoy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, we're watching... So there are no, great releases of this, which is bizarre to me. We're watching a Blu-ray that's part of a 4-pack with the 2 sequel movies, and then the TMNT CGI movie, which I also highly recommend, that came out in, 2007, maybe? Something like that?
That sounds right, yeah. Yeah, I noticed that one of the special features was advertising the Wii game, so that shows you about the age that it...
Right.
Hey, the subtitles working.
Oh
So-
my gosh,
Sure.
everything's working.
Yeah, so this is... It's kind of a bare-bones disc. There's the theatrical trailer is the lone special feature.
Yeah.
And I feel like we really need, a Shout Factory release or something. And this is the 30th anniversary. You'd think somebody would be doing something. Even if it was just Warner Brothers or New Line or whatever.
It seems like a missed opportunity. Because Not only that, like I feel like Toys That Made Us kind of like gave this a bump. Too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't understand why this isn't getting a bigger deal behind it.
I don't understand why they have to hand this wallet off to 37 different kids before he gives it to Shredder.
Because we want to show that it's a criminal network.
Rampant. Yeah.
That it's not just one kid pickpocketing. That it's a whole ring of thieves.
Yeah, because if they yell at the initial kid that took it, then he'll be like, "What? I don't have a wallet."
Right. Exactly.
But I mean,
It's
after
perfect.
this scene, I'm assuming it's like a ring of magicians because this truck is packed full of boxes.
Where's Joe Blue?
Well, ninjas,
In
magicians.
23 seconds, it is empty.
Illusions.
Now, I do want-
Illusions, Michael.
I
Pretty
do-
sure something a whore does for money.
This is the best one.
And this lady sells it so great. Look at her.
Yeah.
Oh, she's
she's
awesome.
furious.
They should have kept that shot for just a couple seconds more because
Yes.
I feel like she gave even more there. So I asked you guys on the first run through how long it had been since you had watched the movie.
It has been at least 20 years since I've seen this. It might be longer, honestly. I saw it multiple times when it came out in the theater, and now, it's been about 20 years. I definitely saw it, like, when it was on TBS or TNT a couple random times in the late 90s, when I was living with a bunch of friends in a shithole apartment and smoking a bunch of weed and just sitting around watching a bunch of random TV.
Look at that old school Burger King packaging right there.
Yeah, it's probably been about the same for me, like late 90s, early 2000s. I actually think that I may have like rented this and watched it with my kid.
That's a
When
good
he-
Probably.
bonding experience.
I would imagine so.
So it's probably been 15 years ish. It's been a hot minute, long enough that I'm like, oh, this is new.
Well, this is, for me, I mean, this is like an annual viewing, if not more. It's like I said, it's one of my favorites. Ryan, I think you'd said you'd seen it within the past few years.
Yeah, I've seen it definitely within the last 5 years. I think about 2 years ago I watched
Terrified
it.
of the rat.
Yeah,
As
it's
everyone
set up
that
for-
lives in
for
New
later.
York is just not used to such a thing.
Never see rats in New York City.
When I was a kid, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Batman were my shit. Like I had everything. That's like that's all I wanted as a kid was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures.
Oh, Sam Rockwell. I didn't even realize it. He's Teen One.
He's one of the menacing thugs.
He's got a really big part in the movie. I mean, not compared
Yeah.
to like the Turtles in April,
But
but
he was like one of the main of the punk kids.
he's one of the
Actually-
main non-masked.
In
Yeah.
IMDb, he's like, I think he's credited as main thug. Or
Oh,
something like that.
I'd rather be main thug than Teen One.
Yeah.
I wonder if this was his big break.
He's got a thing on it. What's on his
What
head?
is that
What
on
is
his head?
It's like an antenna or something.
He's talked about it before. I can't remember exactly what it said, but something I want to mention before we get too much further. I don't want to forget. Judith Hoag, who plays April O'Neil, is actually hosting May 23rd on YouTube. She and the 4 actors who wore the turtle suits are hosting a pizza party to do an anniversary special panel about the movie.
That rules.
I don't know the time yet. If you follow Judith Hoag on Twitter, or if you get on YouTube, I think it's TMNT Movie 1990.
That's
I mean,
the first time I've heard of Twitter being useful.
it's true.
Because
But
it's usually just a fucking cesspool.
if you know how to use Google, you can find out about this. And of course, if you join the Needless Things Podcast Facebook group, we'll be posting updates and everything else. But and she's apparently took it upon herself to do this,
That's
which is
awesome.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty dope.
Especially considering she got replaced in the second movie.
Ouch.
But I think she was back for the third one. I think she and Casey both came back. I apologize, everybody. I'm eating key lime pie.
Hey, it's your birthday episode. It's
Never
fine.
apologize
That's
for
right.
eating key lime pie.
That's true.
I-
So
That's in the Bible.
they did get the toy logo into the movie because
Yeah.
this movie was in production really before the cartoons became quite the phenomenon that they were. So this is more adapting stories directly out of the first issues of the comic book.
Yeah.
Like, you can actually look. It's almost like they use those panels as storyboards, the way that some of the stuff
sure.
goes down. The Raph roof fight.
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff in the farmhouse, like, it's very, very close to the original comic. Splinter being a rat and not a human originally.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like even that flashback stuff was in the comics.
Yeah. Him in the cage.
Yeah.
In the bizarre, like, I have a rat in a bird cage
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah. Seems like a very inappropriate cage for that rat.
True.
So, my entry into the Ninja Turtles was the toy line. Because in 1987 or 8, whenever it came out, G.I. Joe had lost me. Like, Battle Force 2000 had happened, and they were starting to put out some stuff that I just didn't love. And I've often said that G.I. Joe got too goofy for me, but that Ninja Turtles was like next level goofy, so it somehow came back around and worked. I don't know. But I was obsessed with the toys. Everybody was obsessed with the cartoon.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I can't say that I liked it, but I watched every single one of them.
Oh, yeah.
It was too silly for me. Yeah.
I love the cartoon.
I love the cartoon.
I like the cartoon, but I love the video games, like the
Turtles in
TMNT
Time and
arcade
shit.
Yeah.
Oh, my
games.
God.
Well, I loved the first NES game.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's hard as shit.
I think it is. It's up there
It's
with
not-
like Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
It's not Battletoads hard.
Well, no, but nothing is.
Well, Battletoads isn't even that hard. It's just that one level.
Yes.
The fucking
bike
the
level.
hover bike level.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that makes that game hard, which makes it just a bullshit game. There's one level it's just nobody can beat.
It's true.
Yeah,
Don't even get
my
started on Battletoads. I get pissed off.
my intro to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was the cartoon, which I think there's a lot of people.
Mine was definitely the toy.
I didn't read the comics or anything, but I remember like loving it so much. Like me and like 3 of my friends, we all had like each one of us had like our turtle personality and would call each other that, because we were super cool.
No, I think that was a common
Everybody
thing.
in this
Probably
room was
was.
super cool.
Yeah,
I think every group of friends back then had oh yeah, I'm the Michelangelo of the group. I mean, I know my group did.
See, at this
we
point,
would like play turtles and stuff. I mean, like it was like amazing.
I was 14, and collecting toys was not okay, but I still did. And the funny thing was, me and my friends, I'm trying to remember who I had one friend named Vonley, and there were at least a couple of others like in the group, and they didn't collect toys, but they would come over and we wouldn't like play with them. But I had like all the Ninja Turtles toys, and we'd get them out and look at them and like talk about Ninja Turtle stuff. I think at one point we tried to play the role-playing game, and we used the figures. So like, it wasn't like sitting down and doing battles with G.I. Joe, but everybody still wanted to like interact in some way with toys and action figures.
Well, yeah, because
but they were too old,
yeah,
and I just was too big of a nerd, I guess. I don't know. I just never... I'll never forget being in school. It was probably... I'm going to guess I was 12. It would have been 5th or 6th grade. And I remember saying something about G.I. Joe. And some cheerleader-type girl was like, wait, you still have G.I. Joes? That would be like me still playing with Barbies. And I was totally baffled as to what point she was trying to make.
Yeah.
I
have guns.
No. I completely didn't understand. I was like, right. And
So
what?
like,
I don't
yeah.
get it. I just,
What's the
I
point?
was
At
so.
some point, like, action figures became less interesting to me than video games. I'm not sure when. It was probably right around. It was probably actually. Yeah, it was probably right around like when this came out. Honestly, like when I was about 12 or 13, and like. There's like the tail end of the NES era and the beginning of the Genesis and SNES era.
And I think that's probably the common age where, certainly for people our age anyway,
Yeah.
where interest did start to change.
Yeah.
whether it was sports or video games or whatever else.
It was definitely not the sports ball.
But as you guys well know, I don't really leave things behind. I just find new things and add them.
I've noticed over the years. You even kept me around.
I know, right?
Anyone else would have just been like, this guy for 20 years? No. This is excessive.
I just saw the Noid on a napkin. That was awesome.
Oh, did you? I didn't catch that.
Oh, I missed the Noid.
Everyone avoided him.
We did all catch the movie that he was watching, though, which was Critters.
Yes.
Right. And he walks out and says, "Who comes up with this stuff?"
Which is a hilarious joke, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
This fucking movie is ridiculous.
I think that's what made it so great, is that, like, everybody the first time they heard Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles goes, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, and they, you know, we watched that Toys That Made Us thing, and it was literally like, they're like, what's the most fucked up dumb shit we could think of?
It started as a joke, basically, right?
Yeah, I think they were just sitting in a diner screwing around, because the very first drawing of a Ninja Turtle was on a napkin.
Yeah.
And they actually, I hate it, I didn't buy it, I wish I had. I think it was Mondo made a figure of that drawing.
Oh, I've seen that figure, yeah.
And it's really, I mean, it looks like a kappa, basically. Yeah. Like is it Chinese or Japanese? I think it's Japanese. It's one of the yokai. But it looks a lot more like that than the more, what we know
streamlined.
Of. Right,
cool,
right.
Yeah.
Elias Koteas is the man.
Oh, yeah. I was always a huge Casey Jones fan.
Elias Koteas comes back for the third movie, but it is Paige Turco for the next two is April.
Oh, she's in the third one, too. So Judith Hoag never came back.
Judith Hoag never came back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, now she's reclaiming her title as the greatest April O'Neil.
Yeah, I didn't really like the
I liked the other one.
She was fine, but she wasn't as good as this.
She was fine.
Well, this is true.
So this fight is tremendous, and one of the things I pointed out while we were watching this the first time through is, the way that these guys move in these turtle suits, these bulky turtle suits that have animatronics in the head, that have batteries in the back, probably weighed 100 pounds easily.
Oh, yeah.
Just 1 year prior, we have Batman, who can barely throw a punch.
Yeah.
It's a shocking difference.
If you look really close, though,
position.
There's a seam around, like, head and jaw area.
If they ever look up, you can, like, totally see, like, their neck. It's like, there's kind of, like, a gaping hole. But they look like they've had their throats slit a little bit.
Oh, God. Like, but that's the difference, I think, between Keaton being able to move and them being able to move. Like, think about, like, what can you do if you can't move your head with the rest of your body? You know what I mean? Like, you're so limited.
The cowl just immobilized.
Yeah, and he was literally, like, he couldn't move his head, so he's like, eh. I mean, well, it's a good visual. I'm making a visual here, guys. It's really good. It's funny.
Can you hear it?
Woof, woof, woof.
But, yeah, like, not being able to move or turn your head, you're, like, so immobile.
And something I didn't point out, all four of the actors who are in the turtle suits have cameos in the movie. One of them's the pizza guy, one of them's the guy in the back of the cab just a minute ago. Yeah. And I don't remember what the other two are. They might be like random foot members.
Do all of the do all of the voice? Nobody who's in the suit actually does the voice for the turtles?
They're all different.
Yeah, I think they're all. Yeah, I think that's correct.
So obviously, Donatello is probably at this point in time Corey Feldman just beginning to discover drugs.
Around that time,
1990. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was in his mid-teens.
Yeah.
He's playing Donatello, the smartest turtle.
The smartest turtle. That is his gimmick.
Yes, that is a fact.
Michelangelo is the dudest turtle.
He's the
he's the party one. He's the one you want to hang out with.
He's the party dude.
Leonardo's the leader.
And Raphael's the brooding one.
Yep.
He's the
Batman
he's the bad boy. All the chicks are going to go for him.
voices of Brian Tochi, Robbie Rist, Corey Feldman, and Josh Pace. Paella?
Paez.
Paez.
I don't know. Yeah, it is. It's like AIS or something.
I think if I didn't know that Donatello was Corey Feldman, I'd be like, man, that voice actor who does him is really good. Like, I think he's really good. I just know it's Corey Feldman.
Oh, he does a great job in this movie.
It's just the fact that I can hear Corey Feldman and I disdain Corey Feldman, I'm like, oh.
Well, and in 1990, we still liked him in 1990.
Yeah.
So it was okay. It was actually cool that he was doing a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, he wasn't like a troglodyte then at that point.
No.
He had yet to acquire his angels.
Yeah, he didn't have a harem of, like, women that he was keeping placid.
Of diabolically codependent
yeah.
little chickens.
I rescued all of my
disturbing.
angels.
So the music in this movie was by John Duprez, and I want to mention it because
The score?
yeah,
It's really good.
it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
available. You can get it from Waxwork Records. They've got it on record and on CD. But it's almost like this melding of John Carpenter and Oingo Boingo. There's a lot of synth stuff that's got sort of 80s roots, but it's all really like...
I was trying to describe, there's a video game I'm playing, and I was trying to describe the score to it to somebody the other day. I said it's kind of like if Vangelis and Mark Mothersbaugh, but if Devo ever decided to jam.
That's a tough one, though, because Mark Mothersbaugh has such a broad range of sounds. Like, that guy,
he does.
He's got, your standard Devo-sounding stuff that you expect from him, but then he goes and does something like the Thor Ragnarok soundtrack that has everything from this really powerful symphonic stuff to the Devo stuff.
And also all of Wes Anderson's score.
Oh, yeah, The Life Aquatic is where I really started noticing him.
And Yo Gabba Gabba.
I love this room of the TVs. I love it.
It's classic.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like every villain needs to have... And actually, this shot feels like it's straight out of an early... There's an Uncanny X-Men comic that has almost that exact same setup for a
Mr.
villain.
Sinister?
No, and I can't remember who it was right now. It's somebody that's watching Madeline Pryor before she turns into the Goblin Queen, but it's like that same setup. It's
And it
crazy.
wasn't Mr. Sinister?
Oh no! Wait, I take it back. It's in. It's when the X-Men are in the Outback, and they've taken over the Reavers headquarters. It was one of the. It was like the media room in the Reavers headquarters. That's what it was. Okay, so this guy, great over the top '80s cop guy.
Police chief.
Yeah,
Yes.
he shouts every single word in this movie. But his lips are so pink, it's freaking me out. It's like he's wearing frosted pink lipstick. I guess I'm the only one that noticed it. But his lips
even
are like
even with you having
weirdly
pointed it
pink.
out, it
Yeah,
doesn't seem
I don't know.
that crazy to me.
Raphael's on the case. He
grossed
wants
me
his
out.
side back, which, like, no one's going to notice a weird fucking turtle dude.
In the daylight.
Yeah,
hanging
I'm
out.
shocked at how few people noticed a green person.
Casey Jones fought him and
Yeah.
really didn't notice it until the end of the fight. And was like, wait, you're green.
I think, okay, for that scene, I think the park was darker than
Parker
what we
was
were
darker?
seeing in the
Yeah.
screen. Like, I think
Yeah.
we were supposed to sort of infer, like, it's pretty dark out there.
Oh, no. The racism.
Yeah.
There's some mild racism, sexism, and homophobia in this movie.
It was a different time.
It was a very different time.
Yes.
It's still pretty mild for this time.
Very,
It's a lot
very
worse.
Yeah.
Well, and that's I mean, for the time period, it was super mild.
Yeah.
Today, if that comment or some of the things that are mentioned later, well, even her being a damsel in distress would not happen today.
Oh, yeah.
She would have like beat all those ninjas up by herself, and then Raphael would have been like, "Hey, that was pretty cool." Like that's what would have happened in the modern version of this movie.
And it's like, it's also sometimes it's okay that, she's a reporter, she's not a ninja. It's
Right.
okay.
But yeah, that was,
But yeah, somebody-
it's just of the era.
It just happens.
I'm just concerned about her her brain because she's been
Yeah,
knocked
she's been
unconscious
bashed over the
twice
head. Yeah.
in like 24 hours. She probably needs a CAT scan.
We didn't know a lot about CTE back then either.
She's got a traumatic brain injury.
This was back when wrestlers took chair shots to the head.
That's right.
And nothing bad happened with any of that.
Yikes.
9 times in one match.
Yeah.
If you're Mick Foley.
These ninja suits are so great.
Yeah.
They are pretty great.
I love the face eye thing.
All of the
Yeah.
of the costuming and the art direction in this movie is actually really
the
good.
set design's amazing.
Well, yeah, the sets are incredible.
They put so much time into this.
Something worth mentioning, this was shot in Wilmington, North Carolina, my sort of second hometown.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Through the early 2000s, Wilmington was actually called Hollywood East. They shot a lot of shit there. The entirety of Dawson's Creek. One of my good friends in Wilmington, when I lived there, sold drugs to the cast of Dawson's Creek. Just weed.
One Tree Hill, also. We Mrs. Troublemaker and I toured that studio at one point. It's De Laurentiis Studios.
I think Eastbound and Down was shot there too.
But yeah, so it was also known as Wilmywood, which I find tremendously off-putting.
Yeah, I don't like that.
But yeah, this was shot in Wilmington, and my grandmother would actually, anytime something, because she knew I loved Ninja Turtles, and anytime they did something in the paper about it, she'd cut it out and mail it to me.
That's awesome.
I wish I still had all that.
That's very cool.
But I could say that about lots of things, like my Ninja Turtles collection.
Yeah, because I had all the originals.
Did you get rid of your Ninja Turtles collection?
Dude, I've gotten rid of so many toys.
I
it's
know you
ridiculous. Yeah,
your Simpsons collection is what makes me sad.
Well, see, that one I don't even care about.
I know. I love those toys though. They were funny.
Yeah. They were. If they had been more articulated, I probably would have kept them.
Yeah.
But since they were just little statues, I was like, whatever. Yeah,
so cute.
The most tragic toy losses are Ninja Turtles and G.I. Joe for sure. Those are the ones that almost daily I'm like, fuck.
My G.I. Joes met a very unfortunate end because I was a fucking brute to my toys. And my G.I. Joes,
because you're Sid from Toy Story?
the tail end of my G.I. Joe collecting days coincided with my discovering fireworks days.
Oh, that's a common story.
And the two did not mix together well. If you put a nice firecracker in between a Joe,
right in the O-ring,
boom, they'll blow in half, which looks hilarious.
I remember some of my guy friends and I blowing up G.I. Joes.
Also, if you take
weird shit to the rubber bands,
if you take a smoke bomb and light it for the first 15 to 30 seconds. It throws out a little jet of flame, like a flamethrower.
Yeah.
If you hold that up to a Joe, it's like a flamethrower.
You're horrible.
I'm aware.
We've got to give credit here to the Jim Henson Creature Shop for these puppetry effects and for the actual animatronics in the Turtles and the design of the Turtles.
Nice.
This was a huge deal at the time, and I think Henson was excited because it was the opportunity to do something different that really pushed the technology forward. You can go on YouTube now and see a lot of special features about the Turtles and how the facial expressions and everything were achieved and how the suits were built. They haven't released those things on a disc for some reason, but they are out there to be found, and they're fascinating.
That would make a great, if they ever bring it all together, it'd make a great special
Yeah, I mean, somebody get on that, for fuck's sake. But there's actually, the way that these turtles' heads work, the animatronics are all inside the head, powered by the battery that's under the shell, and there's a puppeteer who has a rig that can manually control the eyes and the eyebrows and certain aspects of the face, but there's an infrared sensor in front of their mouth that senses what they're saying and moves the lips on the turtles' heads to reflect that.
That's really incredible, especially for 1990.
That is witchcraft, sir.
Yeah.
But think about the coordination that they had to be between the actor and the puppeteer, so that they were moving their bodies in a similar way as their facial expressions were going.
In order to get something usable or good looking,
they must have taken a minute to get a rhythm. It looks
Like, you can tell that, like, it's a product of the times, but for the times, it looks really fucking...
Well, you get lost in
turtle
it.
suits look really freaking good. Other than occasionally the mouths get real wonky. But
well, the mouths get wonky, and also, like, if there's a particular scene where, like, a couple of them are looking up and you can see neck seams.
Well, there's one scene when Michelangelo's skateboarding, because when they would do the skateboarding shots, they'd shoot him basically from the waist down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he does some kind of twisting trick, and you actually see the skater's hand come down, and he doesn't have the turtle suit on. So you just see like a human hand.
Oopsie.
During the
I didn't notice that.
It's when they're waiting for the pizza.
Okay.
Or I guess, yeah, maybe it's Donatello, because Michelangelo is the one waiting for the pizza. Donatello skates up on the skateboard.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you can actually see that. There are a couple of spots, but I mean, when you're sitting here watching
Yeah, I didn't notice
the scenes, like, you don't sit here and think this looks so fake. You get caught up in it.
I think that the turtle suits look really fucking good.
Yeah.
Overall, I mean, you know, I think they look great. Like, I think they look better than anything they've done since.
It's not like going back and watching, like, this, what we're looking at right now, holds up so much better than, like, The Mummy.
Yeah, oh, totally.
Because
yeah.
I love The Mummy.
Yeah, me too.
But that CG
Oh, it looks terrible now.
makes the movie hard to watch.
Yeah, it looks like some, like, Windows 95 shit.
Nothing in this makes it, like, pulls you out of it like that.
I fucking love the Mortal Kombat movie, but the CGI is so
It's
bad.
hard.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie around the CGI is good, but like the CGI is so bad.
Reptile. Let's just talk about Reptile.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the same thing where it's like that just kind of ruins it. Whereas
It does.
this will always look good enough. It'll look good enough.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what.
Raphael, one of his many screams, anguished, furious screams.
They also do a lot of weird, like, speeding the camera up, like, speeding the footage up.
Yeah, and I think some of that might be to cover maybe little weirdnesses.
Or movement issues.
The
or something.
animatronics, right. Which
Yeah, I
is,
think
you know,
so, too.
that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. You're in trouble now, Pennington. Look at that fancy artistic shot. What, are we watching a David Lynch movie all of a sudden?
There's a few of those. Like, there's one with Shredder from up top, and, like, the way it's, like, following his shadow, and then it follows him, and then it drops, and then it follows behind him. It looks amazing.
Well,
It's so much more work than is needed for a Ninja Turtle movie.
Right, for this.
Yeah, like, it's like some super artistic shit, and
Like,
you're like, wow.
You're right, man. That went from the file on the desk. It comes up, it spins around his hand on the phone, and then it comes up to his face.
They were putting the fucking work in on this movie.
They do another one at the end in that final battle after he's knocked all the turtles down, where Shredder gets this really cool sort of spinning angle. And here's the explanation for that: is Stephen Barron, who directed this movie, and who in one of the special features they show this giant Bible of he drew all of the storyboards himself. And also drew the art that we see later on in the movie that they attribute to April.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
But he was a music video director. He directed Billie Jean and Take On Me.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I can see that.
So that's pretty cool pedigree.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
So he's 64 now. He was only 34 years old when he directed this.
Wow.
Well, he killed it.
Also directed the Coneheads, so...
I fucking love that movie. Okay, I've not seen that movie in 24 years or something, maybe. Maybe more.
What movie?
The Coneheads.
No, it's...
But I liked it when it came out. I think Dan Aykroyd's hilarious. I think aliens are cool.
I think Dan Aykroyd is hilarious and aliens are cool, but I don't know that Coneheads was that great.
Now, to be fair, I haven't tried to watch it since it was out.
I had the toys from that.
But I couldn't even make it through the movie.
I had the Coneheads toys.
Wow.
I was
That's
a
a
serious.
commitment.
Yeah, I was serious.
And I made it all the way through It's Pat, and for a long time I would claim It's Pat is the worst movie of all time.
Oh man, I thought that was hilarious.
And then you watch Secret of the Ooze.
What? Secret of the Ooze? The second one? Second
No.
one's good.
I'm thinking about the Power Rangers movie.
Oh, Ivan Ooze. No, Secret of the Ooze is the second Ninja Turtles movie,
Yeah.
and
It's
it
good.
is not as good as this. Okay, this is straight out of Pinocchio.
I thought
It's
Arian
literally
Oh yeah, totally.
like the scene from Pinocchio, and I love it for that. No, Secret of the Ooze is the sequel to this, and it has the influence of the cartoon in it, but it's still great. And it has Vanilla Ice, it has Toka and Razor, who would go on to be a successful tag team in WWE,
It's true.
and it has Kevin Nash as Super Shredder. What it does not have is Sam Rockwell as Teen Number 1.
yeah,
No.
which is
Let's see if he's credited the same here. Okay, well, it doesn't. If anybody else has dialogue, it'll have to title him, but let's see what it says. But yeah, Sam Rockwell looking like a greasy little dirtbag with his nasty little mustache, but still all of the Sam Rockwell charisma.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's awesome too because like they're total heaven. Like they got arcade games, all the Pepsi and Mountain Dew they want.
Narc.
Gambling.
Yeah, Narc. Yeah, they have a basketball hoop. Like they have everything that was cool in 1990.
This crazy skate ramp thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I remember like there was a couple movies that had like skate ramps and stuff indoors in like a cool like hangout area. And it was,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the coolest shit ever. I was like, oh my god.
Well, they even put one in Hook.
Yeah,
Yep.
The
exactly.
Lost
yeah.
Boys had that one,
That was another-
which was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I would
but
have definitely hung out here
yeah.
in 1990. Like,
Yeah.
big
Oh, yeah,
time.
for
This
sure.
is the most 90s
Well,
shit.
and we're forgetting at the time what would have been the biggest draw is you're training to become a ninja.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
ninjas were awesome.
They're huge.
Right?
I remember one of my favorite movies was Three Ninjas. That movie was great. They all had the masks.
There's an age thing. That's
Yeah, there is an age thing in effect
Yeah.
right here.
Watch Power Rangers nonstop. But I was of the appropriate age.
Right.
you were not in
You're right.
college. Not that we're speaking specifically about anyone. This is all hypothetical. But you were not in college.
Yeah.
Shattering. Oh no, are Cenobites about to show up? That would change this movie drastically.
That would be awesome.
There's just body
Oh, here it
parts
is.
and
Here's
blood
that shot you were
everywhere.
talking about.
Yeah, I love this
That
shot.
could be
Badass.
Pinhead, honestly.
Yeah, that kind of looks like a Hellraiser shot.
Yeah, you
actually.
could play that note
Oh yeah.
from the theme over this.
Yeah, this is a fantastic shot.
He's just got blades sticking out of him instead of nails.
Also, side tangent real quick. Every time I go by the pretzel place at the mall and I see the thing for Cenobites, I crack up.
yeah. I do the
Every
same
time.
thing. I was like, that's not how it's spelled.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you guys. This is not a drawing.
So this is the first time I've watched this in high definition because I had the VHS, so there's a DVD, the shitty Warner Brothers cardboard DVD.
Yeah,
Oh,
those
yeah.
things
I've got
stacked
that.
up.
I still have that, and that has traditionally been the one I've watched. This is actually my son's copy. That, like I said, it comes with 3 other movies, and I just haven't watched this one yet. Until we watched this earlier tonight, I thought Shredder's helmet was wicker.
And I looked it up on Wikipedia, and it did not show up.
So it's clearly not. But no, you can tell in this resolution that it's this like scale pattern
Yeah, it's like a
on
dark
metal.
red scales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But forever, I thought it was like a woven helmet because that's not like that's a thing.
yeah.
Like that
Yeah,
wicker
it looks like it could
armor,
be like a basket.
like that is a thing that existed. And if you look at it, even his shoulder plates and everything have that same pattern on them, but it's like a scales. It's just like a sculpted scale design.
Also,
And
his,
I
like,
love knowing that because
suit,
it always
like,
bothered me.
looks like something like, I don't know, very like Kiss.
Like
or
the
something.
Ice Capades.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very spangly.
Yeah.
It depends on the way they, like the angle. Sometimes it looks really like a sweater with, with like a shiny...
A sweater shredder.
like,
Shredder
thing
sweater.
in it. And then sometimes it looks like armor.
That's
It's-
way
Well,
less
yeah.
threatening than
I-
Super Shredder.
I think
Sweater
it's
Shredder.
I mean, look
it's
at it though.
supposed to look like mail.
Yeah.
I think.
I'll say
But a
that
lot of
action-
times they'll
that
pull off
NECA
male
figure
with
nails
sweater.
Yeah. Oh
Like
yeah,
the-
the NECA figure's like all sparkly
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. It's incredible.
Yeah, it nails that look.
But yeah, even after getting that figure, just because the sculpt on it is so small that you wouldn't be able to tell anyway, even having that figure, I didn't realize the helmet was scaled like that.
He's the big villain. Is just wearing a wicker basket on his head and a sweater.
But yet terrifying.
I'm telling you, I feel like Joe Striker 3 is coming together right now.
Oh, yeah. I already have a plan for that TV shot with the TV wall.
Crocheting the sweater
That needs
right
to
now.
happen.
Alright, so this kid has at least 2 different Sid Vicious shirts.
Yes.
Which makes him like infinite shitbag.
Yeah, not a fan.
No.
Just me. I understand. I
Same.
get it. People like the Sex Pistols. I don't.
They're not good.
No, they're not.
I mean,
John Lydon went on to do great things, but the Sex Pistols are trash.
they were basically a boy band, just with bad manners.
And bad music.
Well, yeah, but like the whole point of them was not to like play music well.
Is this the same desk that the Channel 6 news team uses?
Yeah, no shit. Whammy.
Oh my gosh, I would love to see Ron Burgundy meet the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Same.
I think I've eaten some magical mushrooms because you are all talking turtles.
Oh man. So this, another great thing about this movie, we talked about the production design, we've talked about the incredible animatronics, turtle costumes. It's just really, just nails what it's trying to do, but the pacing is incredible too.
Oh yeah, it moves right along.
I mean,
There's no waste of time.
but everything makes sense. It doesn't feel, it's not one of those deals where it's just trying to get from set piece to set piece.
Yeah.
It just moves the plot along.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and everything feels earned and like it makes sense and it's, you know, as believable as it needs to be.
Yeah, right,
for this. Yeah.
It's a well put together story.
Yeah, no, it's actually amazing. I mean, for this being like a, you know, kind of smaller production, I mean, you know, it's technically an indie film because there wasn't like a big studio backing it and everything. Yeah, it's amazing that it came together so good. I mean, yeah, the story's cohesive, the acting's great, effects are great.
And we get honestly, and I, until we watched it tonight and I really started thinking about the movie and what I wanted to say about the movie, something that I've never really caught before is the characterizations of the turtles might be the weakest thing about the movie. I mean, we get that Michelangelo is the party dude, but they all kind of make jokes and stuff. They're all kind of goofy. Raph is the angry guy.
I think they cover Raph the most, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
they
well,
really
and it's
do.
interesting
Raph has the most character development.
because Turtle Power, the theme song done by studio group Partners in Crime, the lyric is Raphael. He's the leader of the group. That's in the song.
Yeah.
Which
is not
Leo's really
what
the
I
leader.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, Leonardo is the leader, but it's they don't. Basically, every other form of media does a little better job at individualizing the turtles.
Yeah.
But with the voices and with the characterization and the body language and everything else, they're great.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm not complaining about it. It's just something that I noticed on this run-through is they're not as distinctive.
Exactly. And, I mean, I don't know, with how good the pacing is and, like, they're telling the full story of them, I feel like if they had done more,
It would have
bogged it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it probably would have hurt the movie to give them more individual time.
They could have done, like, I feel like you get a good idea of who Michelangelo is, and Raphael, as we've said, gets the most screen time and character
I think
development.
Donatello has the least amount of...
They could have done a better job with Leo and Donatello.
And I think the fact that Donatello is my favorite turtle
Me too.
is where this is coming from,
Yeah,
is that
totally.
he kind of gets short shrift in this one.
Yeah, he does.
Because he's basically just Mikey's comedy partner.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like the straight man almost.
Yeah.
Donatello was my favorite. Like, I was always Donatello, and we were like...
Well, like in
Turtle
the
stuff.
video game, he had the reach. So
Oh, yeah. That was true.
you had to pick him.
That was a fact. That was a
He also
fact.
does machines.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes, he does.
Boy,
Just
howdy.
like Paulie from Rocky 4, who fucked that robot.
Speaking of which, I ordered a figure of that robot.
Ah,
Today.
yes.
Did you also order like a naked, sweaty Italian guy?
Well, if I could have, I would have. Yeah, Mrs. Troublemaker got me a gift
That's called
certificate.
Craigslist.
Surely you have a Ron Jeremy action figure somewhere.
No,
that, like,
as far as I know, that hasn't happened.
despite the fact that he's Jewish, you know,
There's not
swarthy,
enough
hairy man.
Plastic in the world to sculpt that dong.
But, well, no, you can buy a Ron Jeremy dong.
Oh, okay.
That's what I hear anyway.
That's what
But yeah, Mrs.
I've heard
Troublemaker
that.
got me a Super 7 gift certificate. So I ordered the Rocky 4 robot. None of the other Rocky 4 figures, just the robot. And then that Anthrax figure.
I mean, that seems really like the best plan, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't need...
If I had to get one, it would be the robot.
Yeah, absolutely. I needed to have a toy of that robot. Look at when their mouth's open. It's crazy the detail that's in there. The tongue,
Oh, yeah.
the back of the... I mean, it's crazy.
They put a lot of thought on like what's going to be shown on camera and how it's going to look. And
Yes,
yeah, they
yes.
put a lot of thought into that.
It was clearly important to them that these be as like mobile and filmable as possible at all times.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Which-
to where it's not going to look bad at any angle.
Again, you got to think about the fact that there was a version of the bat suit that they couldn't shoot from behind.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Which
And
like,
look-
that seems like so much more like extra work.
I don't want anybody thinking that I'm shitting on
No, I
that
love
man
that
because
movie.
I adore that movie.
Yeah.
If you were around Needless Things last year, you know how much we love that movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I fucking love it.
But it's crazy to me to watch this that came out a year later.
This
And
scene
compare
in
it.
particular. Like, okay, I know that this is sped up, but, I mean...
I don't know that was.
It is
He's doing an incredible job with these nunchucks, and he's just like,
Yeah, he's
while
doing
he's
better
wearing
than
this
Ninja.
like crazy ass green turtle muscle suit with a shell on it.
Now that's just screwed into his finger.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
just going like this. But
Which is funny because that's exactly how the
figure is?
figure, over there. It plugs into the top of
That's
his finger.
perfect.
They hit him with their butts. That was pretty awesome.
yeah.
Well, you got to
It's
figure
just
out.
like Asuka, but based
I
on-
was just gonna say that.
So yeah, that foot soldier tried to do the RKO on Michael.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
He doesn't play that shit. Rude.
Also notice like on the shells, like there's like individual like cuts and grooves and like
Yeah.
where they've been
Yeah.
damaged and
They're all distinctive. If you look,
It's very cool.
their skin, they have little
They get their own
colors
texture.
and
Yeah.
textures and stuff. Raphael actually has scars on his face, which
Yeah.
again I didn't notice that until we
This
were watching this one.
But they look like real, or as real as what you would imagine a giant toxic turtle would look like. Like there's ridges on the shells and stuff like
I
that.
love
Yeah.
the foot soldier who pops out to hand out axes to everybody.
Axe guy,
Yeah,
axe me.
yeah. That's so good.
Let me ask you something.
It's like I'm glad they're not lumberjacks. The only thing that would be safe in the woods is the trees.
Maybe are they related to the X Gang from Kung Fu Hustle,
Entirely
For
possible.
sure. Yeah.
which is one of the greatest comedies of all time?
Yeah.
That's a
See,
I
if we were going to go down that road, God of Cookery would be my choice.
Mine would be Kung Pao, Enter the Fist.
We are not watching that.
I
ever.
fucking
I
love
fucking
that
hate
movie.
that movie.
It's pretty
So
great.
I
much.
loathe that movie.
It's its own thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't enjoy it.
It's definitely its own thing, and I do enjoy it.
Oh, you just made me sad even bringing that movie up.
Really?
Oh, I hate it so much.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things that somebody I knew, and I don't remember who it was. When did that come out? We were probably hanging out when that came out.
Yeah, like the early to mid 2000s.
Who would we have known that would have been like all about that movie? Because somebody loved it, thought it was the greatest comedy of all time, was putting it over to me, and I was like, that looks like a stupid piece of shit. And they were like, no, it's so good.
Oh, man.
I know it looks dumb, but it's so good. And I was like, all right, fine. I'll watch it. And I watched it, and I was like, this is the dumbest piece of shit I've ever seen in my life.
It wasn't, but it sounds like something that Dave Barstow would have said.
And when I was trying to figure it out, that's kind of what I thought of, but
Oh man, no, you gotta watch.
I don't think I would have taken his opinion seriously. so I don't think that's what it was. And he was awesome. He was a great guy. We just had different taste.
Yes.
Except for Hall & Oates. He was totally right about Hall & Oates. They are like one of the best live bands ever. All right, so Casey Jones. We haven't talked enough about how cool, not just Casey Jones, but Elias Koteas was and is.
Yeah.
I, for years, watched movies just because he was in them, which means I watched a lot of shitty movies.
This is true.
He was in Almost an Angel with Paul Hogan,
Wowzers.
who you may know as Crocodile Dundee.
I remember
Right.
that. Yeah.
Today.
He was in. Okay, I'm gonna have to pull up Wikipedia because I can't remember. It was some erotic thriller.
I'm gonna pull up Wikipedia.
Please do.
He was in The Wicker Man.
Elias Koteas. Okay, so I've got to look up this one because I went and saw it in the theater of all things, and I was just like, "What the fuck is this?" It was some like Cinemax level erotic thriller. Okay, let's go ahead and roll up to Ninja Turtles. Backstreet Dreams, haven't seen that one. Desperate Hours, don't know. He was in Look Who's Talking 2, which I have seen, but I do not remember him being in.
Maybe
Backstreet Dreams sounds like a rock.
Maybe-
Let's talk for a minute about Look Who's Talking. And the fact that there was a whole series of movies about talking babies.
Babies that talk.
They're like Bruce Willis.
Yeah,
Bruce Willis voiced a talking baby.
And then I think in the...
And people loved it.
Yeah.
People roll
Wasn't it
back.
Roseanne Barr was the...
Oh gosh, probably.
I think so.
So Almost an Angel, Exotica, that was it. He was the club DJ in Exotica.
Who's the female lead in that movie?
Let's see. Let's take a look. Mia Kirshner.
Yeah, that's right. She was something at one time.
Man, it must suck watching this movie if you're him and just looking how awesome his hair looked, because it does not look good now.
Well, how awesome his hair looked, and how, I mean, he's in great shape.
Oh yeah, he's fucking, yeah.
I can't believe
Wayne
we're
Gretzky
already at
on
this
roids.
point in the movie. This is crazy. So anyway, Elias Koteas, super friggin' cool guy. We've kind of glossed over his crotch in this movie.
Well, they haven't really focused on it
Yeah.
until they get to the farmhouse.
Yeah.
Like, which is coming up, or I think they're heading there now or whatever.
Yeah.
But they do, like, a side view shot of his crotchal region, and I've never seen anything like it.
Well,
Whoa now, alright,
here's
hold on.
well, here's the thing. Part of Casey Jones's character is he wears sweatpants. But dudes...
Yeah, me too. That's my character during this quarantine.
Yeah.
That's my character.
Dudes
for a joke.
can't just wear sweatpants
No.
because that fabric, it tends to cling to the mushroom.
It's clean. You
So
get outlines.
yes, you get outlines, which is why some fellas wear those to the gentlemen's clubs. But that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But that's you know what? Anyways,
There's a man who
I could spend the rest of this just
probably
talking
still
about
out
lands,
there
but
at the intersection of like La Vista and Ponce. He's an elderly African American man.
oh
by the name of-
yes,
yeah.
I have seen his sweatpants.
who
Yeah.
wears bicycle shorts.
Yeah,
And they leave nothing to the imagination.
And that sweatpants aren't as tight, but they are close to as revealing. So if you have to wear sweatpants on camera, or in public really, you need the proper support for your piece.
I think he's wearing a dance belt,
I think you're correct.
and I think that's why it looks like it. It looks like his Johnson goes from his belly button to like the back of his taint. But I think it's a dance belt.
I believe you're correct.
If not, he was exposed to radiation as well. Yeah, it's coming
That's
out.
that's
Yeah, it sure is.
That's the twist in Turtles 4, as they find out.
Yeah.
They find out that his penis fell in the sewer.
He's all man, just with turtle genitals.
Yeah.
And Splinter raised his dick.
One day in the
What a
sewer,
raised just
Just his penis. And he forgot about
and
it.
I taught his penis ninjutsu.
pinjitsu.
Pinjutsu.
Pinjitsu.
So there it is.
There it is.
This is not like, well, it's pretty
It's
something
there.
going on there. He
You
looks.
can see the outline on his shirt.
He's got a moose knuckle. Yeah. Yeah, how do you see his dick through
That's a
his
moose
shirt?
leg.
Whole moose knee.
So yeah. So anyway, but I appreciate the fact that either he or the costume designer recognized a need and that they went for it.
They were like,
Because
we do not need your mushroom stamp.
we
throughout
don't
this
need
entire
this.
movie.
Is in theory this is a children's movie.
Well, they weren't worried about April O'Neil's nipples in this scene.
Well,
which I'm fine with. I'm
yeah.
just saying. Because I could see them very clearly.
I mean, Ryan, we've all got nipples.
You're right.
And
we
not
all have
everybody
penises.
has a Katea's dong.
Right? Isn't that how that works?
I do like what he calls her Broadzilla.
That's pretty good.
That's very nice.
I feel like the moonlighting reference was dated then.
Right. Well, Moonlighting.
It was big.
It was still.
really,
Yeah, it was still on in '90, right?
Okay.
I don't know if it was really big in the late '80s, and it may have still been on in the '90s, but it was like.
What year was Die Hard?
popular.
88?
88, I think.
So yeah, actually, Moonlighting probably was dead by now.
Probably.
That is kind of dated for '90, I guess.
But it was still popular enough that it was like part of pop culture.
Oh yeah, for sure. I like the thought
The
that.
last episode of Moonlighting was in May of '89.
Okay. Yeah, so that's
Pretty close.
You wouldn't get a reference like that nowadays.
But
Yeah, because
sorry,
now everything's
Right.
constantly going.
Anything older than 6 months ago is
TV
like, what the
shows
fuck
nowadays,
is that?
though,
Yeah.
like there was not as many options back then.
Right.
So like everyone watched Moonlighting. I mean, now everyone streams whatever. Like it's totally different. Entertainment's totally different.
I don't know. We all got into Tiger King pretty hardcore.
Hell yeah, we did.
Because they locked us all in the house,
Yeah.
and then they gave us a sequin-wearing Tiger Man with 2 husbands.
2 straight husbands.
How's that shit work? I don't know. Like,
Look, if you're gonna put a show in front of
enough
me,
meth on it, and anything will happen.
if you're gonna put a show in front of me where a fancy little redneck is gonna trick straight men into being gay,
Yeah.
I'm
Any
probably
of those
gonna
tigers?
watch it.
While
Yeah.
possibly trying to suggest very strongly that another woman get murdered.
Yeah.
He was framed.
I think he wasn't framed. I
Okay,
just think
he's
he was
dumb.
done
I'll
wrong.
say that.
Well, no, he
He was
for that
railroaded.
he was set up.
He was.
Yeah.
He was, for sure.
But he should absolutely be in prison, just not for
Other
that.
things.
Yeah.
That's. I feel like
That's hard to
For
argue.
meth, for animal cruelty,
Right.
for general insanity and depravity.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm never going to
All of those
financially
things.
recover from this.
for going out into the room and saying, "Someone just got their arm ripped off. Would you like a rain check?"
Oh,
All right,
gosh.
let's get back to Turtles. As
Yeah,
much
let's
as
go
I-
back to Turtles
As much as
before
I
this
want to do a commentary
degenerates.
on...
I feel like we need to
literally
do a
talk
Tiger King
about
commentary.
Tiger King.
Well, we need to do a commentary about Casey Jones's continual.
God, look at it, it's bigger.
Yeah.
Well, look what she's wearing. Of course it is.
Damn right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure April O'Neil was like my sexual awakening.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Well, you were what 4?
Hey, you were 3 when this movie came out.
Yeah, but I remember watching this.
Well, he's-
I watched this as an 8-year-old.
You got going
like, a
pretty
lot.
early.
Her and the Pink Ranger were my first crutches.
Jeez Louise.
You know, the movie still existed when I was 8. You know that, right?
I'm aware of how time works.
Okay.
Well, not anymore because we've been in
Well,
quarantine
yeah.
anymore.
Now it has no meaning.
Yeah, time means nothing.
I wonder if that was even
Yeah, that was a good stunt.
like planned.
It seems
Or
like
that
it'd be
just
hard to plan.
happened.
Yeah.
Who can say?
Well, somebody could if they'd put out some fucking special features for this
That's a
thing.
very good point.
Apparently nobody gives a fuck.
And I'll mention it again, I am excited about this pizza party
Yeah, that's really cool.
that they're putting on the
Yeah.
23rd. I'm absolutely there for that.
You know, people are really, like, being creative about,
Yeah!
you know, what they're
It's
going to
really
do
cool.
to entertain us in lieu of
That
what we
fucking
normally
Parks and
go
Rec
through.
episode was great.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
really
I
awesome.
I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, I teared up a couple times, and it was because it was just so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm already kind of putting some ideas together for what we might do when Dragon Con doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a few thoughts about things we could do.
That's awesome.
Can we
I
just sit
want-
behind a table and drink heavily and just
I mean,
talk about
basically,
nonsense?
Yeah.
basically, yes.
I like that.
We should get a. I want to see a Dwight Schrute special, like a full hour of just Dwight Schrute dealing with quarantine.
That would be amazing.
Oh yeah, that'd be
Yes.
awesome.
From the Beat Farm.
Yes.
I'll go on record and say if Dragon Con does happen, I don't want to be around 80,000 people.
No, I think
Yeah.
I've already said I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not going regardless.
It's-
But they're going to have to cancel it.
They're playing chicken with it. They're
Yeah.
saying that it's happening now because if they
They
For
need the
insurance.
city
Yeah.
to tell
they
them.
need the city or
Right.
the hotel, if they cancel it, they can't get refunds on their insurance. and
Yeah.
shit.
There's
Yeah.
way too much money at stake. They're trying to be careful. That's why
Right.
they're like, yes,
But in
it sure is happening.
And look, I can't blame them for
Yeah.
that.
yeah, no, and for sure, and the thing is, even if they had,
Wait, we have to talk about this hat.
But it's
Oh, yeah.
gone. It like
Was
instantly
that it? It
disappeared.
was
No,
just
it's
that one
for that 1
second?
second.
Yeah.
That one couple frames.
Wow.
It's really
It
weird. I
was
noticed that,
Michelangelo wearing it, right?
yeah.
I noticed that last time.
Farmer Mikey,
It's just for a couple seconds, and then they don't show what happened to it.
And again, I think that is straight out of a panel of the comic.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry, Arian, but that deserved to be mentioned.
no, for sure, Gen Con, Dragon Con, San Diego Comic Con. All of these things are institutions and will survive, but
Oh, yeah.
smaller cons could just be gone.
Well, and that's my concern about that Augusta Toykin mentioned that we loved so much. Man, that was
Did he just
Yeah.
somehow
like,
It was
more
worse
brutal
without
without
sound.
sound.
Yeah.
take your massage, bitch?
Which, I mean, look,
Which you
some
can-
ladies are
you
into,
can
but...
tell, and you can tell she's enjoying it
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
because
Either that or it's cold
It's
as
very
hell in that
cold,
room.
yeah.
headlights.
This is so good.
Ointment.
I missed it. All right, well, I'll just have to go. I'll just have to go back for it later on. I want that to be the cover
It's
shot.
so good, though. They do a little good, like at the farmhouse thing. They do some good stuff with Leonardo as the leader and trying.
And
he's
you
the
can
one
see
that
the neck seam
communicates.
there.
Yeah.
You can see the neck seam that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least it's not like a human neck hanging out.
That'd be hilarious.
That would be unfortunate.
But yeah, there's a few things he does. Communicates with Splinter. I like that he's waiting on Raphael to wake up.
Yeah, he's
I
the
like
one
that.
tending to Raph.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think he also is upset because he's arguing with Raph.
Well, yeah, he feels guilty
Yeah.
because
He's like, we don't need you.
He stomps all over Trivial Pursuit.
He called him a jerk. But yeah, they do some good Leonardo stuff here.
There's the campfire from Friday the 13th Part 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're a NECA fan, you'll get that reference.
They use the same.
Yeah, that Spirit, I don't have it over there, but the Spirit of Splinter figure actually came with the marshmallows and the
Oh, really?
marshmallows on a stick,
that's
like
cool.
the bag
So
and
you
the
can actually
marshmallows
sit
on
them all
a stick.
around them.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
I like that.
Not that I think those figures can sit like that, but
Yeah.
still, it's okay. It's fine.
I can see a couple neck seams.
It's turtle fat. Don't shame their turtlenecks.
Turtleneck
The turtlenecks.
Whatever you want to call it.
Honestly, I'm okay if you want to shame turtlenecks. I mean, it's 2020. Whatever.
If your name isn't Miz, you can't be wearing a turtleneck.
It
The
is
turtleneck tough guys.
It is the ultimate heel move. The real ultimate heel move is knocking up your girlfriend who's more popular than you
That's true.
and getting her to relinquish her title.
They really should have loosened those belts up a little bit, you're right. Because look at Michelangelo and Donatello, like,
Yeah.
especially Mikey.
Yeah.
His belt is just cutting into his shell.
Good lord.
He looks
Yeah,
like
it's
he's
like
got
one
a-
of those turtles that has like the six-pack
Six,
rings
yeah.
around them.
Oh
in
no,
the
that's
ocean.
terrible.
Yeah.
Way to bring it down.
Sorry. That's funny, though.
I feel like there should be a
Turtles
Sarah
that's
McLachlan song
dying
playing while we watch
slowly.
this.
Oh.
It's still the best joke from the Teen Titans movie.
Oh yeah,
When they kill
yeah.
Aquaman by
With
throwing
the-
a six-pack ring in the ocean, and he's like, ah! That's so good.
Sorry, we got caught up in an emotional
We
moment
did get
there.
caught up in an emotional
Yeah.
moment,
I
That
teared
was
up a little.
nice.
and now it's time to get down to business.
This whole part of the movie is a really good, like, you get a little closer to the characters, and, like, it's a little downbeat before the total action happens. It's really good.
The craziness of the final battle.
Yeah, yeah.
The battle of 8,000 ninjas.
Like you said, I think that's the secret to this, and a lot of my favorite 80s movies, like, you know, Predator, RoboCop, and Batman. It's like the pacing's just perfect. Like,
Yeah.
you just know exactly when to, like, alright, things are going to calm down for a minute, and then shit's going to go fucking crazy. Like, they know what they're doing.
And what happens in those calm moments is important.
Yes, exactly. And I feel like a lot of movies these days don't have that quite as good of pacing,
That's
which
where
is what keeps them from being like classics like this stuff.
we got to learn more about Casey Jones. We got to learn more about Leonardo, a little more about April. So it was a good little beat there
Yeah.
for them to get their shit together to go and kick ass.
A lot of it's got to be editing. You know, a lot of stuff today seems fairly self-indulgent. We get all these movies that are like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I don't enjoy
Yeah.
2.5 hour movies, but
And sometimes it feels necessary, but
sometimes it does. Honestly, usually it does, but I gotta wonder if it really is.
yeah.
Editing, I think.
There's definitely more times where recently I'm like, how long is this movie? Okay, yeah, I'll wait to watch this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. it
Yeah,
happens.
anything over 2 hours now, I kind of...
limit.
It takes another level of thought as to whether I want to invest my time in it.
Yeah.
It's usually something that like you've already bought into the series. There's a sunk cost.
Right, the Marvel stuff. I
Yeah.
mean,
Star
you know,
Wars.
we're going to watch it no matter what. Star
Yeah.
Wars, we're going to watch it no matter what. It doesn't, like stuff like that. But anything that's sort of an unknown, I still haven't seen The Revenant. I want to watch that movie,
It's good, yeah.
but it's a lot of time to invest.
Oh, it's like The Irishman. That's another one.
I
haven't
haven't watched
watched
that.
it, no.
No,
I love Scorsese. I love crime movies, but I just can't do it. It's
Yeah, I
like 3
don't
hours
know.
long. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
I don't know if I'll even watch that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look that interesting
fine.
to me.
I'll
Like-
watch it at some point.
Goodfellas is one of my favorite movies, but this movie just, 3 hours, or I think it's more. I think it's like 3.5 hours. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
I would love for like real grown-ups that take themselves seriously to hear this conversation, like of how much we love this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, but
And we
don't feel like
see
watching The Irishman.
That looks dumb.
It looks. So here we get. Okay, this was, and we.
But I'll watch this twice.
You're right. Yeah, and you know what? I could sit down and watch this again tomorrow.
yeah.
I actually, as we've been sitting here watching this, I'm like, fuck, I have to watch the second one as soon as when you guys leave. I'm totally watching the second one.
Yeah,
No
want
doubt.
To. I want to now too. I mean, I haven't seen the third one in a long time, but I remember liking it.
I didn't as much.
Yeah.
That's Turtles in Time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good video game.
And
I
honestly,
played the video game. I never saw the movie.
it might be something that I revisit, and I'm like, okay, the stuff that bothered me before, now I think it's fun.
Yeah.
But I remember not ever really liking that one. And I think the Turtles are kind of weird in that one. I think there's something... They redesigned them or something. I feel like there's a difference there that bothered me.
Yeah. I did
But
like
the fact
the
that Casey
samurai
and April were
costumes. The samurai costumes that they're wearing in that one look really good.
Well, and that they did that one Samurai Leonardo figure
Yeah.
that was so cool. I mean, they did a whole line of figures from the movie, but before the movie came out, they just did a Samurai Leonardo just as one of their weird releases.
Oh, those weird Ninja Turtle figures were the best.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, is that line, you know, it had all of the awesome extra characters like Mondo Gecko and Napoleon Bonafrog and you know, all
What
those.
was the rabbit?
Usagi Yojimbo, created by Stan Sakai. Sakai? Sakai? I'm not even sure. I've never said it aloud before. And Usagi continues to be part of the Ninja Turtles universe. They did a recent release of a Usagi Yojimbo toy as part of the last Ninja Turtles line. Not the current one, not this Rise of Ninja Turtles, which is terrible. But yeah, they would, as the line went on, in addition to all those, they would do all the different versions of the Turtles, like the Universal Monsters Turtles,
Oh my God, that was my
and the
favorite.
Star Trek Turtles, and the Sports Turtles,
Yeah.
you know, and on and on and on.
Yeah, I had the sports ones, and I didn't even like sports. I just had them because I was like, yeah, I gotta have the football Michelangelo. Yeah.
One of my favorites, there was a Michelangelo in like a body glove wetsuit.
Mm-hmm.
He was, I can't remember if he was a surfer. I think he was a surfer. But it was just a really cool figure. The design was really cool.
I remember the like Desert Storm ones.
Yes. Yeah, they did
God,
like
I remember
they were like
those,
Commando
Yeah.
RAF or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'm trying to think what else.
But they were like wearing like Desert Storm fatigue.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was like, Desert Storm was a big part of my childhood, oddly enough. Like, I had, like, collector's cards and action figures and shit.
Well, with G.I. Joe, the very first Joes that came out were the traditional, you know, olive drab and camouflage and whatever.
Yep.
But then when the second wave started coming out, everything started to transition over into desert colors. And it's because as soon as Vietnam was done, the military started training for desert conditions.
Yeah.
As soon as it was done. Which is wild to think about. In 1983,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that was already being, like, prepared for.
We know what we're doing, yeah.
But that's a whole conspiracy hole that
No,
We
yeah.
need
everybody's
to talk
welcome
about this
to.
That's not
flashback,
even
though.
really...
Bigfoot farts?
Huh?
It's all Bigfoot farts?
Yeah, Bigfoot farts
farts.
are the source of all evil, as
Yeah.
Well,
well.
I heard that they're rebooting the Turtles, and they're actually going to be created by 5G.
Oh, no.
Look at
I
little
found
tiny
4
splinter.
baby turtles under a 5G antenna.
It's a Verizon tower.
Oh, no. So here we get Tang Shen and Hamato Yoshi and their love story that was
fucking Shredder
ruined
could be Bill Gates. I'm sorry.
by Oroku Saki. Well, that's almost what they went with in the second of the new Ninja Turtles movies. They had William Fichtner as this billionaire, not quite Bill Gates guy, but
Yeah.
like billionaire industrialist.
Weird.
That at one point it was rumored that he was actually going to be Shredder in this like big robot suit. Thankfully, that turned out to not be the case.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I don't think we talked about it this time. I think we talked about it before. The newer Ninja Turtles movies, the first one's trash.
Yeah.
Like, if
that's what I
anybody
heard.
hasn't watched it and is curious, look at that. Look at that little expressive stop-motion
that's great.
rat. That was incredible. But the second new Ninja Turtles movie, the one with Sheamus as Rocksteady and Stephen Amell as Casey Jones, it's nonsense, but it's entertaining.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch.
I want to watch that one.
It's fun. I took Phantom Jr. to see it in the movie theater, and I didn't want to.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're going to... If you're any kind of decent parent, here's a little tip. You're going to take your kid to see the movies they want to see.
Yeah.
Unless there's a coronavirus, in which case you don't take them to the theater.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. And also, the foot soldiers were ahead of the time, so wearing the mask and just being,
That's true. I need a foot soldier mask to wear out when I have to go out. But yeah, the second one's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's completely stupid, but I enjoyed it. I've watched it a couple of times.
Hell yeah.
But this one is still...
No, this is great.
The high water
I
mark.
love this movie.
Look at those eyes, man. Look how sinister this dude is.
Yeah, this guy's the perfect Shredder.
With his wicker hat. His wicker armor.
Oh, you're in trouble now, Danny boy.
Everybody's in trouble now. He's seen Stephen Barron's storyboards.
His production art.
I love the idea of them handing this drawing to Judith Hoag and being like, okay, just color in. Just sit there and color in some background. Pretend you drew this.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of the shots of the actual art being done was just a hand. So it's who knows?
I mean, it may well have been her, but she's just tracing over something
all she
or
does
coloring
is,
in the
she
background.
shades in some blue and
Right,
she
right.
draws a couple lines on a window.
Yeah. You're right. He's got some good hair in this movie.
Oh yeah, it's fucking phenomenal.
That is for the '90s. That's some stud hair. He should have been in a Cameron Crowe movie or something.
Oh yeah. And Time did not do well with that hairline.
And I think it wasn't too long after this that he started having the male pattern action going on. But I mean, he's had a great career, so it's not like it affected him or anything.
No. I mean, what the fuck can you do about that? It's just
nothing.
Life. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had a good point about this scene.
Yeah, well, they do it in the beginning too, where they just block out everything.
Yeah,
with either darkness or smoke.
Ooh, ha, ha,
dun.
And they win.
Yep.
One key element of this, I think this is another thing you pointed out, Ryan, is that they keep the turtles moist.
Yes, yeah,
and I think that helps
with realism.
Yeah, with making them look real.
Yeah.
Well, and Splinter too. Look,
yeah.
He's super juicy right now. He's almost like Mark Henry.
Also, also love that Casey Jones walks up to Splinter, who he's never seen before, and he's just like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
Rat?
He reacts.
Well, okay, whatever.
Yeah. But he does react. He doesn't just race in there and go, "We got to rescue this giant rat."
Yeah.
He's like,
I wonder if he thought he was going to be a turtle.
Well, no, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because think about. Obviously, they've discussed their master Splinter.
Yeah.
But would it even occur to the turtles? Well, April would have told him.
Maybe.
April would have been. No, she totally would have. She would have been like their leader. They haven't mentioned this because they just call him Master Splinter, and they don't think about the fact that he's a giant rat.
Because she makes a joke
He's
about
a
him being
giant
a rat, and they're like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah. I love this pile of foot soldiers that shows they've clearly done this a few times already.
That's like a fun gag.
It is. It totally is. And that's a lot of... for me personally, because this movie is not... It doesn't come off like a kid's movie.
No.
It has a lot of lighter content. And I think they're very clever. Because here's the thing, is you've got three characters who have bladed weapons. Like, sais are for stabbing, swords and shredder armor is for cutting, and they have to figure a way around that, so they made the fights, they're fights, but they're fun, but they're not stupid.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Not too much, yeah. Except for the fact that he has to have a sports weapon to fight anybody.
Yeah, it's Casey as the dumbest fight requirement of all.
Yeah. But he can also knock somebody the fuck across a room.
Yeah, his superpower is that he can knock you out, but the limitation that it has to be with sporting equipment.
And when are we going to see the Casey Jones Sportsmaster showdown?
Oh, man, that would be awesome.
You can say.
so great.
Yeah, that looked great.
And
Yeah.
just incredible choreography.
Yeah, all this.
Watch right here. He jumps up on
Yeah.
the skateboard while the guy swipes. I mean, it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
Yeah, once again, just all the set design's ridiculous. Like, all the sewer stuff and the city stuff gives you that gritty New York vibe. That, like, comic booky New York. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Well,
All the
it's
graffiti.
that New York in the late 80s vibe.
Yeah.
It's filthy and, like,
But it also has that,
awful
like,
and
almost...
great.
It has that, like, weird fakeness about it, but not,
Yeah.
like, in a bad way.
I know what you mean. It's very...
Hyper real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Speaking of hyper-real, let's look at Sam Rockwell as his world is crumbling around him.
Yeah. And he's questioning what he believes.
Yeah. It's like, you mean this is your family? Alright, I gotta go.
Yeah, he's like, alright, end of speech. Fuck it, let's move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Get the picture.
You call this family? What a family... We gotta go.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much word for word. It's like,
And Sam
whatever.
Rockwell was just trying to figure out what the fuck he was trying to say. He's like,
Yeah.
I got a giant rat, I gotta get back to a sewer? I don't know.
I feel like he had a good point, but he really didn't make it.
yeah.
It's like,
We should follow him and find out
Yeah,
the
we'll
rest of
find out
what he was
later.
going to say.
Let me bring my menthols.
Because it is kind of funny that, like, they all do just follow this guy.
Yeah. Who really didn't say anything profound.
Right. Not as profound as, kick some shell or whatever he's getting ready to say.
I can really shell it out. It was a shell of a good hit.
That's the one he liked. A shell of a good hit. But yeah, anyway, so they use the really, really solid, fun fight choreography to get around the fact that, you know, some of these characters should be cutting people to pieces.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, Mikey's nunchucks look like sausages.
But they're better than the Foot
The
Clan's
foam,
nunchucks.
yeah,
They're clearly the foam ones.
The south of the border nunchucks.
Yeah, the ones
that
you
one guy
get
had.
for $4.
Yeah, I had those too. It was like a plastic tube with the foam around it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like we all had at least one set of those.
They were
Oh,
used,
definitely.
They were
Yeah.
used in Joe Striker.
Yes, they were.
The guy, Alan Keller, with his balls hanging out.
your balls are hanging out. Is that okay? That's fine.
Yeah, no, leave that in. Or should we crop it or something? No, it's fine.
Fortunately, we do not see any Ninja Turtle balls in this movie. And then Shredder just whoop
Out of the
out
sky.
of the sky.
Shredder in his sweater.
The Shredder sweater. And for those that may not know, you can buy a cheese shredder.
Yeah,
A
it's pretty-
shredder cheese shredder.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Great.
Nice.
It just looks badass. That's
Yeah.
just so cool.
Yeah, that shot he looks super badass. But the one where it comes around his shoulder really close up, it looks like a sweater.
I do think it's supposed to be like a light chainmail.
Yeah, for sure.
But
It's definitely the look they're going for.
if you look back at another movie that we did a commentary for, the Masters of the Universe movie, from only 4 years before this, Skeletor has a very similar fabric
Yes.
Yeah.
going on.
I think in SD, it works a little bit better than in HD.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, they can't be held responsible for not knowing what the future would hold.
Absolutely. And what's funny is how well Splinter holds up in high
He
definition.
looks great. I mean, he looks
Yes!
like a real fucking rat man. Like,
Yeah.
it's like some witchcraft.
Splinter is amazing. His face movements are
It's
pretty
like-
good too.
It's on par with the Bigfoot from Tanya's Island, to where it's like so good
Yeah.
looking. You're just like,
I
that
think
might
this
be
is
real.
probably just a giant rat.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
this may be a real.
Surely it would be easier to find a giant rat man than
Than
to
to make
craft
it look
something
that
this
real.
convincing.
Because I don't think they could do that now. It would either be CG.
It would just be
or-
CG.
Yeah, it would definitely be CG.
Well, that's the stuff. I mean, like,
Yeah.
is these days they'll just go, oh, we'll just do it in CG, but you lose. I mean,
because this is
look at these
impressive as
performances.
shit. Yeah.
Like, it's so good. There's so much personality that comes across with their body language in these performances.
Well, and also
And
everybody
these
in the
costumes.
scene is acting with something,
With an actual person,
yes,
which
yeah.
is where
and not just a dude in a spandex suit with balls on him.
right.
Yeah, I mean, I think CG is a great tool. I do miss some stuff like this. Like, that Splinter looks so
Yeah.
fucking good.
Well, it's kind of like Dave said in the first go-around when we were talking about it. Like, if they did it now, to do it well, you would have to do dudes in a suit with, like, some CGI work on the face.
Yeah, combination.
And it would be perfect, but it's like, it seems like lately
And there are-
they just want to CGI everything.
Well, to me, the ultimate realization of what we're going for, or what I want, is that the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance,
Yeah.
the Netflix show, where
Yeah.
We haven't watched
it's
it yet.
I need to. I don't know why
Fuck
I haven't
you
watched it.
guys.
I know.
Damn.
Because I love Dark Crystal. It's like one of my favorites. I don't know why I haven't
okay.
watched it yet.
I don't even love Dark Crystal that much. I love it for what it is, but as a movie, like, I don't.
It's one of those that
It's
hit
not
me
like,
in
wow,
the-
this is a great movie, but I look at it and I'm like, holy shit, this is incredible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It hit me at the right moment in my childhood, so that like my love for it will never
Well,
die.
you really need to watch that show because it is everything in it is puppetry, but they use CG to cover the seams, so to speak.
To enhance it, yeah.
Right.
And that's, I think, the best way to use CG
Yes.
is to enhance.
Man, you guys
physical
really need to
things.
watch that.
Yeah.
Like, you will cry.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
It's so good.
Well, we really don't have an excuse now. So.
No, you don't. What, are you going to watch Tiger King again?
Yes.
Possibly.
Well, yeah, probably.
Probably.
Gotta find out if that bitch Carol Baskin actually killed her fucking husband.
I love that he's
I know
actually
that.
got the nunchucks tucked. Like, they set this whole thing up.
You see
Mikey's
it
nunchucks
fall, yeah.
got thrown over, hung up on the ladder. You didn't see Splinter get them, but they're tucked in his belt there if you're looking.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
The big
Gruesome.
reveal, it's him.
It's him.
And I think as a child, I was like, oh my god, it's him? Like it's a secret.
Right. So badass, he
Oh,
just
yeah.
moves his right arm and it's over.
That's just some ninjutsu shit right there. He's the master.
Yeah, you can't beat
My-
Splinter.
My friends and I used to debate about whether or not that spear had pierced his chest.
Huh.
And I don't. Now I used to think that it had. Now I don't. Now I don't
Nah.
think so.
No, I think it's just a fall.
I also don't think it matters either way.
Yeah.
It's fucking crushed.
Oops. Except
good.
he's not, because as I will find out in
You see the
just a
helmet.
short while here, they rescue him from the dump. Spoilers. And he goes on to create mutant,
It's so incredible.
whatever,
now.
Toka, snapping turtle, and wolf.
Yeah, it's not Bebop and Rocksteady.
Right,
but
right.
It is, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. That actually pissed me
The
off.
babies.
Yeah, that actually pissed me off as a kid, because I was like, why the fuck isn't it Bebop and Rocksteady?
Yeah. No, I actually, even though, like I said, I didn't love the tone of the cartoon, I felt the same way. I was like, why the fuck are they just making these new characters?
Yeah.
And it drives me crazy because they do that all the time, but you realize it's so they can make new figures.
Yeah.
They've already got Bebop and Rocksteady figures.
You're right.
Well,
yeah.
let's make some new characters so
Yep.
we can sell more toys.
Bebop and Rocksteady were the fucking best. Some of the best.
Have you
parts of
seen the NECA ones? The new NECA ones from the cartoon?
but
Oh,
I want
I've seen pictures of them.
Yeah.
I got a set for Phantom Jr. because I just happened to find them and I knew he'd want them. And then I found more, so I bought a set for myself that I haven't decided if I'm going to keep or not because I don't plan to collect that line. But they look so good
Damn.
that I'm just like, I might keep them. And Target's not taking returns now, so it's kind of getting taken out of my hands anyway.
Oh, there you go.
And they're doing a metalhead that looks amazing.
Nice.
The robot turtle.
Yeah.
So I may just have a little section just for a few of those. But I told, well, no, I don't think I did. I broke down and ordered the Super 7, the new ones that are, they're like the Masters of the Universe classics.
Oh, but they're the old figures?
But they're based on the toy line.
Yes.
Not on the cartoon.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just Googled the... I need to have this. I'll collect the whole damn line. That's awesome.
Well, you better get on it because they are hard to find.
They are amazing.
Yeah, and they're huge, too.
Holy crap.
Yeah, they've done all 4 Turtles, Shredder and Krang, and Bebop and Rocksteady, and a 2-pack of Foot Soldiers. And they've got that cell shading paint style.
Yeah.
That just looks
They're
amazing.
Fantastic.
And then, yeah, they've got, they're doing Krang in the android body.
Oh, really?
And Metalhead. I think those are the next 2 releases. So Shredder has been defeated. The Turtles and Splinter hanging out up on the rooftop because they still can't be seen by the public, which is another difference that I think, nowadays they'd be down in the street partying, like, hey, look at these cool turtle guys, yay!
Yeah. No, I like that.
And actually, I don't remember what. You know what? That's not fair of me because in the newer movies, they stay in hiding. They don't come out. So that wasn't fair of me. And then we get Casey and April with their weird, aggressive romance.
Yeah, it's like a weird, like mutually abusive romance.
Yeah. Which, I mean, honestly, for those characters, seems pretty accurate.
Probably.
Although the fact that he's basically a bum is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, he pretty much just seems like a homeless guy that beats up criminals.
I'm down with that,
with
though.
shotgun.
Yeah.
Hellacious.
His ear doesn't look that bad.
It's gone! What are you talking about?
It's not that bad.
He's totally Evander Holyfield.
Yeah!
Evander Holyfield
He's
did.
literally missing half of one ear.
So he would have trouble right now. He wouldn't be able to wear a
visible.
mask.
Oh, yeah, well.
True.
It's okay, I don't think rats can get corona.
That might be true. Alright, and now we go right into, as I mentioned before, Partners in KRYME with Turtle Power. On the half shell, they're the heroes for in this day and age. Who could ask for more? I could go through the whole thing.
I believe it.
Yes.
Because I listened to that song. I had the cassette of this soundtrack. Now, not the score that I mentioned before that you can get from Waxwork Records, but the actual soundtrack that had MC Hammer, Technotronic, Partners in Crime. I don't remember who else was on there, but it was a very like 90s, late 80s hip hop type thing. And I listened to Turtle Power over and over and over in my little yellow Sony Sports Walkman. I love this movie. I still love this movie. It is... My opinion on it has not changed over the years, which is a little different from other movies I love, because some I've gone back and forth on, some I've evolved in the way that I enjoy them. But this one, Kevin Clash, well-known puppeteer that worked for the Henson Company for a very long time, was one of the puppeteers for Splinter. I just saw that. Okay, so anyway, I love it. I love it as purely now as I did when I first saw it in the theater in 1990. My affection for it has not changed in any way. I'm still blown away by the technological achievements. I'm still blown away by how true they stayed to the comics and stuff. It's just fantastic. I love it. Nicole, having had a bigger gap between times watching it.
Hey, don't talk about my wife's gap.
Oh my
Jesus,
God.
God damn it.
Whoa. Whoa.
I was just thinking, well, I'll have to tell my kid to listen to this episode because it's about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Cut that out.
I don't cut... editing? What?
It's okay. He's already just all fucked up.
Maybe it's less about her big gap and about your small dance belt.
Oh, shit.
Where
tonight on a very special Blossom.
It's fantastic. Like, what's not to like? I love this movie. I loved it when I watched it before. There wasn't like I didn't not watch it because I didn't like it. I just just kind of lost track of it over the years.
Yeah.
But I mean everything about this movie is wonderful. It's got a great story. It's got great characters. I love the turtles. I love the effects, and like we said, the set dressing is like just incredibly good. The fight scenes are great. It's a great action movie with, radioactive turtles. I love this movie. I'm very happy.
And Arian, you had another. You also have a big gap.
Arian, let's talk about your big gap.
Thank
we
you.
haven't talked about your gap that much.
Thank you for
today.
noticing. I've been putting work in on my gap.
Oh yeah, we haven't visited the anal corner yet.
No, we have not.
That's good.
This movie's alright. I don't know. Like, I like it still. It's not like my favorite or anything.
Where does it, for you though, being as objective as possible, where does it rate as far as comic book adaptations go? Or have you even read any of the original comics?
Have not read any of the original.
Oh, well, okay.
So then, like, asking me is not conducive to et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
It's a fun movie. It's from that time period. It's one of my favorites, but it's not something I'm gonna like seek out and watch on the
Right. You're not gonna self-motivated go watch it.
Well, I'm not self-motivated.
Well, at all anyway. That's true.
But no, I enjoyed it. It was fun to watch.
And Ryan,
I got a
you're a
smaller
Turtles
gap,
guy.
but yeah.
It does make me want to play the TMNT arcade game.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Ryan's got a small gap, and he's been getting hard for this movie since he was 3 years old. So he's got a real weird relationship with it.
No, I have always been obsessed with the Turtles. Always will be. I have fallen off as like far as the newer stuff. Like I really haven't kept up with it.
Well, there's no reason whatsoever to watch Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja
Good to
Turtles,
know.
but
Good
the
to
series before that is probably my actual favorite version of the Turtles.
And I've heard that from a few people.
Man, it's wild.
But yeah, I mean, it is impressive to me. There's so many of these movies that I grew up with that I go back and watch, and I'm like, oh my god! Like the Power Rangers movie we were talking about that we did
Right.
I saw that as a kid in the theater and like was like, this is badass, and like went back and watched it. I was like, this is fucking garbage. It makes no sense. This shouldn't be a movie. But this is one that like I watched as a kid growing up. This and like the original Batman. Like these are some of the movies that I grew up on. And me and my dad both like to watch. And, yeah, I mean, I have fond memories of it as a kid, and it holds up just as well as I remember it. There's nothing about it that's, like, shitty or, like it's got great pacing, great story, great characters. So, yeah, it's fucking, it's incredible that it holds up as well as it does. It shouldn't, because it's such a product of its time.
Right. It doesn't seem like it should be.
Yeah.
It seems like it should be like Power Rangers.
Yes, it does.
Well, guys, I'm glad we finally got to watch this one. I'm super stoked, and it was a great time. And everybody knows how to use Google. You know where to find us online.
Yeah.
We're good. I got to watch the second movie now, so you guys all have to leave unless you're going to stay and watch it.
No, I gotta go home.
See, that's what I thought.
Yeah, work is looming.
What a bunch of gaps.
I know.
Huge gaps.
All right, so for the full rest of the story, because at the end there I mentioned that I was going to watch the second movie, and I did, and it doesn't hold up quite as well as the first one, I gotta say. It's basically, like the first one obviously has a lot of comedic elements, but the second one is basically a comedy. The idea of adapting the comic had been completely corrupted by the success of the cartoon at that point, so it's still fun. The Turtles themselves are still amazing. Toka and Razor are great. The fact that Kevin Nash plays Super Shredder, honestly, is really meaningless. But it's not a good movie. It just isn't. David Warner is a lot of fun, but I probably about 45 minutes or so in, I fell asleep for a little while because it was just there's no soul. The first one has a lot of soul. The second one is crass commercialism, I guess, if I'm going to be completely ruthless about it. And I don't hate it, and I'll watch it again, and I think it's a fun movie, but it's a very different experience from watching the first movie. So there you go. That's a little quick mini review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. And also, as much as I like Ernie Reyes Jr., he is almost intolerable on screen in that movie. So, what else is going on? Oh, please, I should have mentioned this in the intro. Please go check out the Needless Things YouTube channel. I've been doing unboxings over there that focus on the toys. You, in general, will not see my face because I want you to get a good look at the toys that I'm opening up and reviewing. This week, I put up a Holy Grail unboxing, a toy that I spent a lot of money on and have been waiting a long time to get, as well as a Harley Quinn SH figure arts from Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous. I don't have time. I love you guys.
Thank you for listening to the Needless Things podcast. You're the best. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Downcast, or in the ears of a Trader Vic's employee. Love you. Mean it. Uh-huh.